I'm not gonna waste any time here. Little Big Planet is a series that has been pretty inactive for a while now. Like, a really long time. Hell, you could even say that it's dead at this point. But see, here's the thing. I used to feel that way for a while, but now, I don't know, man. Sackboy and Little Big Planet seems like an IP that Sony doesn't want to give up on just yet. I mean, can you blame them? Who has the heart to abandon this little fella? I mean, I guess a heartless corporation like Sony could easily do so, but that's not the point. This may sound like me huffing on that copium, but I genuinely think a Little Big Planet 4 could be possible. And I want to speculate on what that Little Big Planet 4 could be like, and just the future for the series in general. That's right, I said speculate. None of this is definitely going to happen, so if it doesn't, well, I don't know, go easy on my execution please, just make it fast. So before I talk about Little Big Planet 4 and what it could possibly be like, I need to talk about the obvious sack in the room. Ultimate Sackboy, baby! Little Big Planet 4 is gonna be an endless runner with a battle pass. Oh yeah, get excited! Oh wait, hold on, no, this isn't right. Oh, I was meant to say Sackboy's a big adventure, my bad. So, Sackboy's A Big Adventure is ultimately a spin-off of the Little Big Planet series. Rather than the game being in a 2.5D plane with a create mode, A Big Adventure goes for a 3D platformer approach very akin to Mario 3D World. It takes a lot of the charm from the Little Big Planet games and slaps it into this entirely new genre. It still has the absolutely gorgeous handcrafted art style, it has an awesome soundtrack, a nice mix of licensed music I'm not allowed to play because of copyright, and some original tracks too. There's some obvious stuff like the immense amount of customization, like hell, to this day they are still churning out DLC outfits. All for free, by the way. Thank you, Sumo Digital. There's also the co-op, which isn't only local co-op, you can also play online with friends, which is an issue because none of my friends own this game, and it annoys the fuck out of me that so many achievements are co-op related. They made Sackboy's A Big Adventure with a lot of respect to the source material. Sure, they take a few creative liberties like that stupid shop owner guy from the third game that they made. I find this dickhead so annoying. I mean, as a whole, most of the original characters that Sumo have made are kind of forgettable. Apart from the villain though, he's actually great. Like I was saying though, they clearly respect the original Little Big Planet, the game that started it all, and the thing that cemented this was when I entered the first level of the hidden secret world at the end of the game. Yep, you're hearing that right, that's a remix of the original Gardens theme. It's very epic. Sackboy's A Big Adventure is such a good game, but barely anyone has played it. The game has sold like complete dog shit, even with its PC port, which came out of literally nowhere. And I suspect that's mainly just because it's not called Little Big Planet. That name alone holds so much weight on our nostalgia. I think there's another huge factor as to why so many people disregarded this game. There's no create mode. You know, the shit that's literally one of, if not the biggest aspect of any Little Big Planet game. Now this is where my speculation about what they will do for a Little Big Planet 4 comes in. So with each sequel to LBP they expanded on the formula. With the second game they expanded on the create mode with programming shit to make it so you can basically create entirely different games in the create mode if you're skilled enough. And the third game expands on the games by adding a bunch more layers to the 2.5D planes. It went from 3 layers to a whopping 16 layers. Now with a fourth game, how could they even expand on this while keeping it 2.5D? Well, here's the thing. You can't really. The biggest step to take is to make it entirely 3D. Oh, would you look at that? Look what's slowly sliding up the screen. Oh, what a coincidence. I suspect that Little Big Planet 4 will be like Sackboy's A Big Adventure, but with a create mode that allows you to create 3D levels. I can imagine allowing the players to be able to do that would be insanely challenging to do. So I feel like they made Sackboy's A Big Adventure as basically a foundation for how a fourth Little Big Planet would be like, and to gain additional funding while they somehow managed to make a create mode work for this new formula. Now like I said, this is just speculation, there's absolutely zero evidence of this being true in the slightest, but this is just my theory of what a Little Big Planet 4 could be like. Now, this isn't the end of the video. I have even more speculations to make about the franchise. Now, before the release of a possible LittleBigPlanet 4, you know what would be awesome? A Master Chief Collection style of game for LittleBigPlanet 1, 2, 3, and hell, even LittleBigPlanet Vita. I don't think the PSP one would work for this because it has like no connection to them. Now this idea makes complete sense. These games are all connected and you're able to use items and costumes you unlocked from the previous games in the other ones. But the biggest issue is 3 of these games are locked to consoles with absolutely zero backwards compatibility. One of those consoles being a handheld that nobody bought. A collection where you can play any of the games within the series but having one big create mode which connects them all together to have one dedicated online community would be such an amazing thing. I feel like that's a good idea. It would allow LittleBigPlanet 1, 2, and Vita to actually be playable on current generation platforms, because when Sony sees any form of backwards compatibility, they shit themselves. It would allow them to make some money while giving the community life once again. Oh, and it should definitely be put on PC too, because I mean, that's just a given at this point. Well, that's what I can see the future of LittleBigPlanet being like. I mean, that's if the stars align or some shit. I feel like that would be the best outcome. But hey, again, this is all just speculation. For all I know, none of this will ever happen, and they'll just make a sequel to Sackboy's A Big Adventure and just ignore the existence of LittleBigPlanet as a whole. Or if worst comes to worst, they'll make a fucking Ultimate Sackboy sequel.